Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Think About It, powered by Sonara Global. I'm Amir, as you already know, and I have a special guest with me here, Mr. Vlad Tapia, former president of Toastmasters Club of Singapore, short for TMCS, and an AI strategist. I met him through TMCS as well, and I'm a frequent guest there, so it is my pleasure to have you here. Vlad, how are you doing today?
Thank you, Amir. I'm doing excellent.
All right. Um, Please appreciate this view because this is his place and it's a beautiful place as well. All right. We are going to be talking about open dialogue, confident communication, and technological awareness that shape our personal and professional growth in this episode. So, Vlad, how about you give a brief introduction about yourself to the audience so that they get to know you a bit more?
My name is Vlad Tapia. I'm from Canada. I have worked in 23 countries.
Wow.
Physically, and I've been in Singapore for the past 5 years. I work as an AI strategist, and yeah, I've been doing public speaking for 5 years here, and I did it also in Canada and Norway before. And believe it or not, public speaking has become more of an important part of my life than actually what I do for work.
All right. I've always wanted to visit Norway actually. Norway is
People go there for Northern Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights.
Yeah,
It will be one of my end year destinations in the future.
Yeah, you go between October to February. It's a good time. Look for full moon. Full moon, then you're more likely to see the Northern Lights.
All right. I'll ask you for some advice when we come to that. Okay, so I'd like you to share your journey in Toastmasters and what drew you to public speaking from your career, which is slightly different from what public speaking is about. So, what drew you into it?
Yeah, so first, I started in doing politics when I was in university, doing the school president for first year students. And I had one embarrassing experience where I had to speak in front of all the students during our candidates. Speaking about
How old were you?
I was at the time 20.
Okay, about my age.
Yeah, so it went quite bad. I blanked out, and it was quite embarrassing. Hundreds of students there, maybe over 1,000. And from that made me just hesitant towards public speaking. I had a fear. And then when I started working as an engineer at a place called Hydro One, my boss said that, wow, you are a terrible speaker. You need to do something about it. And he said you should join Toastmasters. And then my company sponsored me for a year. So then I joined the local Toastmasters club where I was living in Toronto, Canada, in the west part. And at the time, the biggest one, the most known one, was called Phoenix Toastmasters Club. They met at City Hall.
In Canada?
In Canada, in Toronto, Canada. And it was a stadium seating, because where your politicians sit. So that was my first experience. From there, I did it for 1 year. And that opened up so many doors in my life, because I always had a dream to work internationally. I always dreamt that I want to live around the world.
Believe it or not, that is my dream too.
Yeah, that was my dream coming out of university. And once I did public speaking, what happened? I used to work in something called SAP. And from there, I started, my company said, wow, you're really good at speaking about it. You're very clear. You could translate very complicated technical subject matters to layman's terms. So then
how long was this after your first boss said what he said?
It was almost immediate, because when I finished my 1 year of doing Toastmasters, at my work, they already started having me doing presentations.
Then you've improved quite a bit.
Yeah. And then they hired me at IBM to be a consultant. And then there was always constant feedback that I was very good at explaining the ideas, very complicated technical subjects to business personnel. Cool. And from there, what happened is that I was working with, later on, a few years later, I was working with a company called Accenture. And then they gave me my first opportunity where they said, we need someone to go to Central America to help with this merger and acquisition between ExxonMobil, it's an oil company, and a company that's now situated here in Singapore called Trafigura. And they just said, okay, you have the right communication skills. They brought me on board, and from there, it just kept going.
Then that's what they use in 23 countries.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly. That's how it started.
Amazing, man. But what amazes me is how your engineering bring life and your public speaking skills combined got you into 23 countries.
Yeah, at the time they had no clue that would help.
Cool.
And
cool.
yeah.
Cool. You were an engineer. Technically, I'm an AI engineer, so maybe I could work something out for myself once my career starts.
Okay.
Yeah. But not so soon because my university is only starting next September, so I got to finish that first.
Yeah. Which university?
SUTD.
SUT. Got it.
Yes. All right. Cool. So that tells us about how his journey in Toastmasters began, and it's quite an interesting one. Uh, what did you discover about yourself during this journey?
Yeah, what I discovered about myself, the political experience that I mentioned, where I blanked out, made me afraid to speak about what I believe in, because I was afraid of sounding stupid when I was not able to communicate it correctly. What I learned is when I joined that Toastmasters club called Phoenix, they just worked on our confidence at first, just to be able to socialize with anybody and just speak about small things that don't make you afraid to speak about
Then the
small
more
things.
you get used to it, the more
Then the more you get used to it. Yes.
comfortable you're.
And eventually, what I learned was you need to practice, you need to prepare, and if you have clarity of mind of what you're going to speak about, you should not be afraid to go out there and tell people about it.
Confidence and clarity.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Exactly.
Beautiful.